Welcome to Hannah's Heart.
So Hannah, she's just one of the women who did struggle with infertility in the Bible.
No matter who we are, we can be inspired by the fact that Hannah took her pain to God, and God heard her and was with her.
So when she was praying at the temple, she had been weeping and not eating, and her lips were moving, but her eyes were closed, and the priest was like, "Hey, why are you drunk at the temple?"
It can become an obsession when you want a child so deeply.
And desiring that baby and to be a mama. Every holiday, every Mother's Day.
This is not a show that's going to promise you a certain outcome, but this is a show that says, however God answers your cry, we know that He's enough.
Hey, I'm Ann.
And I'm Kendra, and you're listening to Hannah's Heart on American Family Radio. Hey, welcome to the program if you're a new listener. For those of you that are oldie but goodies, I don't know, our faithful listeners, good to have you all back. We are a show for couples struggling with infertility or miscarriage. We've gone on to talk about adoption, fostering, even singleness, just when your life ends up looking differently than you had planned, how you surrender those dreams and expectations to God.
Yeah, that's right. We just hope we can walk with you along the way as you're trying to figure out, what your life does look like and how you want to honor the Lord along the way. So thanks for being here today. If you're watching, you can see that we have someone seated at the table with us today, Kristen McDaniel.
Hey, I'm happy to be here.
I'm so happy that you're here. We were talking off air first, and we were talking about how, we've known each other for a very long time. You were like camp counselor, Awana leader.
And, way back.
Yeah. Saw me in my very awkward days.
Yes, mine too.
Mine too.
Oh, my goodness. But you've always been so kind, but I also feel like you've always been very authentic with who you are, from your cute style and everything in between, and just your love for the Lord. I remember always looking up to you when I was in, not high school yet, and watching you and Lauren and a few of your other friends just have so much fun leading other people to the Lord. And so I appreciate you being here today.
Thank you for those words.
Of
You're going to get teary. Okay, we can't start that way.
No, we can't. That's what we're here for today. But since then, you have gone on. Gosh, it's been a long time since then. But you got your degree. Tell me what you got your degree in.
My degree's in nutrition.
In nutrition, okay.
Yes.
And that's why you're here today.
Yes.
We'll get on to why I asked you to come on, but tell us a little bit about you and your family.
Okay.
All that first.
Sure, yeah. So I have my degree in nutrition. I'm a registered dietitian, and I've kind of done that off and on over the years, stayed home with my kids some. Currently, I do a virtual nutrition counseling with women. I have 3 kids. I have a 13-year-old, an 11-year-old, and a 9-year-old.
13. I didn't realize.
I know. He's in middle school. It's the weirdest thing.
Crazy.
But we're just having a crazy, fun time. And we're always busy running from one thing to the next. But it's a good time.
Yeah. Well, good. But yeah, so what got you here is you made a super interesting Facebook post, I thought. And I think you were talking about the virtual idea. And will you tell us about that? Where did that idea come from that you do now? Yeah,
sure. So a few years ago, I started my own private practice out of my house, just doing virtual counseling for women. And it went really, really well, but I could only do cash pay. And of course, that's a hindrance for a lot of people. And it was just hard. It was hard to handle with the stage of life we were in at that moment. Put it on pause. Felt like God was saying, just pause that for a minute. And then this year, I came across, it's called Nourish, and it's an online website of dietitians.
Oh.
And each one kind of specializes in different areas. And they asked me I submitted my information. They asked me to come on to that. And now I can take insurance. So it's so much easier to get women who need the nutrition counseling seen. So it has been wonderful. I do virtual counseling. I have clients in Texas and in Michigan and all over. So it's really cool to talk to women all over the nation about
Yeah.
nutrition.
Well, I'm excited for our listeners.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like so many women that struggle with infertility, or if you're trying to sustain pregnancy and you keep having loss, you're asking that question of like, what is wrong with my body?
Sure.
How can I fix this? And like, our culture is just so quick to like skip over some of the basic stuff and be like, oh, well, let's go.
Here's a pill.
Yeah, here, this will be a workaround. And you're like, well, can we, I mean, I've heard people say there really is no such thing as unexplained infertility. Like there's usually always a reason if you can kind of look at it and find it. And just, what we eat and what we put into our body has such an impact on our body's ability to sustain and create life.
Sure.
So I know our audience will be very excited to
Interested,
hear what you share.
Well, I was going to say, even the ladies, we have a very small group of ladies that get together a few times a year. We call it Hannah's Heart Hangouts. And mostly it's women who have either experienced loss or they're walking through infertility. And honestly, a lot of those times when we're getting together, like they're not trying to eat junk food, we're not trying to fix them stuff that isn't good for them because they're starting IVF and, things like that. And so they're trying to watch what they're eating.
Sure.
But a lot of times it feels like I've been doing this for 4 years now and I don't understand, And of course, there's like slips and hang-ups where, over the holidays they didn't eat right, and I'm saying I'm including myself in that because I was put on when I started Clomid and doing all those kind of things, keto, and that's the way I was suggested to do, and keto helped me lose a lot of weight, but to me it was not a sustainable lifestyle.
Yeah.
And I missed carbs, and to be honest, I don't, now knowing more about the nutrition of carbs, I think that they actually are not as bad as what we make them out to be.
100%, yes. Yeah.
When in they're, they're whatever, not buying the, white bread at the store, but anyway, do you mind just telling us like how someone could get started with you, what that looks like? And then we talking about specific diagnosis and how diets could help with that and lifestyles.
Sure, for sure. Okay, so first of all, before I even say anything nutrition, like my main message to all, women and men, but in this diet culture is your body is good. And God made it good and it's not broken and you can trust it. And so a lot of the work I do with women is moving away from control of eat this, this, and this, don't do this, this, and this, make sure you're crossing off everything on your list, moving away from that control to connecting with your body, connecting with other people too, but figuring out those cues. So it might be the hunger, the fullness, even noticing your energy level, your stress level, all those, like our bodies are so smart. God created them so good. It's just a matter of letting go of some of that control and tuning into your body and figuring out those cues and listening to it and respecting it. And then honoring the messages that it's giving you, which is not easy. It sounds so like, okay, let's do that. But it's not easy in practice because our culture is telling us the opposite.
Right.
Our culture is telling us that something's wrong with you. If you can't lose weight, something's wrong with you.
Right.
And so there's a lot of pushback. There's a lot of food rules given to us. So we spend with my clients a lot of time just going through food rule after rule after rule and saying, is this a good rule to hang on to? Or is this, and a lot of times they contradict each other.
I was just about to say that. That's what's so frustrating to have somebody who's knowledgeable in this, because it's like, every 10 years they'll change their mind about, are eggs going to kill you or are they best
every
thing
10
for
years.
you?
So like the 90s was like, don't eat fat, which gummy bears, that's my fun example. Gummy bears were fine. They were fat free.
Yeah.
But then we're like, don't eat sugar. If you eat sugar, it's going to literally kill you. And so then you're like, well, what's left? And then protein. And then people were like, don't eat protein. You should only eat fruits and vegetables. It's like you literally cannot hold, no matter what your belief is, you can't hold all those food rules at the same time. It's
a very mental thing that you're kind of starting out with.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like a counselor.
80% of my sessions with people are counseling.
Wow.
And maybe 20% of me actually giving nutrition advice, which is so important.
Yeah.
But there's a lot underneath that before we get to the nutrition part.
Yeah.
So, counseling is a big part. We're looking at why. Why are we doing the things we're doing?
And what is our
How were you
relationship to
raised?
food?
What's your relationship to food? What were the food rules growing up?
Yeah.
Did you have to eat everything on your plate?
Right, right. Well, in trauma, like people sometimes go to food after experiencing trauma, and some people run away from food after
Yeah.
Which is
experiencing
really
trauma.
hard when you're trying to conceive and you have a ton of stress.
Yeah.
And you're like, every month you're disappointed. And then you're like, I got to make this, like,
For
this
sure,
feel
yeah,
better. But then I'm also
because
trying to eat healthy.
Food can be an amazing coping skill. I mean, ice cream is going to make you feel better. Like, that's the way God designed our bodies. That carbs and sugar, they give us that reward, but it can't be the only coping skill.
Yeah.
That's good.
And so I work with women to build that toolbox. Where else can we add some coping skills in? Can food still be one? Sure. But we need to have some other ones. Moving our body, just other important things that relieve that stress.
Yeah.
But it's not necessarily connected just to food.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that was probably a long
I love it.
No, that's
answer
so
to what-
good. Well, and I feel like that's needed to talk about too, because I feel like it can be very isolating whenever, we can almost like hide snacks sometimes and hide that we ate, I don't know, when no one else is around us. But then I have friends that as soon as they go through something hard in life, they won't eat for days and days and days, And after losing John Micah, I could not eat anything salty. It was the weirdest thing. Like salt, everything tasted overly salty to me. If I ate anything, when I ate anything, I wanted something sweet because for some, you're talking about ice cream. It like felt like that was something good and right.
Yeah.
Which I still can't explain that, but it just showed me like how mental food can be for us.
For sure.
And so, when we have multiple ladies, I have, a good friend now who is always listens, has been on the program, struggling with infertility, but she struggles with weight and she cannot seem to get the weight off no matter all the different things that the doctors have had her on, And
And then
so,
you also have the guilt of
Yeah.
how is my body's struggle impacting my dreams and hopes. Like I had with my second pregnancy, gestational diabetes, totally blindsided me. I was like, felt like, man, I'm trying to do all the things right. And then I just had this guilt of like, if anything happens to my baby, it's my fault.
Yeah.
It's because I did something wrong. And that was something I had to surrender to the Lord because it was going to break me.
Yes.
And I
for
had doctors
sure.
that, I really wanted to try to approach it with just diet and exercise and to try to do that first before introducing insulin and other things. And I was really discouraged. The medical community I was connected to, they just were like, no, don't even try. Let's just go to insulin.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, hang on a minute.
Yes,
Like, pause.
yes.
Like,
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. And even if you get to insulin, like, again, God designed your body.
Yeah.
He gave you this insulin to help keep your blood sugar in control. Like, there's a need for both.
Yeah.
We need medical solutions and we need nutrition and
Both and.
movement. Yeah, it's both. And then also, like, just a reminder that you're the expert of your body. And so many women, so many people are going from doctor to doctor. We're Googling, we're trying everything that we can find. And people are wanting to throw on us, like, have you tried this? Do this. Oh, if you only eat this or you take this supplement. But I've been on keto before and I was on the couch and I felt like I had the flu. Like, and then someone suggests keto.
That's a
like,
real
no,
thing.
that's not a good suggestion for me. I don't feel good. So your history, it works good for you. So remembering that, like, you're the expert of your body. And I think that kind of helps give that confidence when you go into places or look at different things of you don't have to cave to everyone telling you what to do.
Yeah.
You
And
can
if you
kind
can't
of
use
pray
that
about it.
scripture,
Yeah.
I am fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yes.
If you can't say
yes.
that and look in the mirror, then maybe that's some lies that you've believed from the enemy.
Yeah. I mean, that scripture, and I have it in my notes because I just wanted to point it out. And it's so, I mean, we've all said it. We've said it to other people. We've said it. And
Other
it's
people.
so hard to tell ourselves that.
Yeah.
Especially on the hard or broken days to really believe that. But it's such an important message because we're going to treat ourselves differently if we truly believe
That's right.
that our bodies are trustworthy.
What are some, so we've mentioned PCOS beforehand, endometriosis, multiple losses, different things like that. If do you have anyone like that has come to you and said,
Any diets
yeah.
we should have for these
Yes.
specific issues?
Okay,
Any-
so I personally have PCOS, so I very much relate to that. And I have a lot of clients with PCOS just because with PCOS, you crave carbs. You have, I mean, it's just part of the disease state of PCOS is that you're going to crave carbs. And
What is PCOS? Can you break that down for any of our listeners that don't know?
Okay, so it's kind of hard to define.
Yeah.
Because it has a lot of different ways it can show up. And it used to be believed that it was only an issue with having cysts on your ovaries, but now there's a lot of different ways that it can be diagnosed. It can be high testosterone. There's a lot of diagnostic factors that go into, and it's a
From
very
like hair growth,
it is
weight
a very
gain.
vague.
Yeah.
All connected to hormones.
Yes, all
and
connected to
balancing.
hormones, very much so, and it can be hereditary too. So a lot of times it's also in your family.
And weight gains
Weight gain,
more.
very hard
prominent?
to lose weight.
Okay.
Very, very hard. It's like your body is going to fight with everything it has.
Okay.
Because
within-
you also have the high testosterone.
Right.
I have PCOS, and the doctor was like, I cannot believe you don't have hair growing from your chin with how the testosterone level. From what I understand, I had gotten it under control after about a year or so. But yeah, I was on medicine and I was on keto, very strict keto for over a year. And so that did, I guess you would say it did work for me, but it was not unattainable. What is the word? Like,
It's just not, you can't keep it up.
yes.
And you're not going to have joy in life.
Correct.
At the end of the day,
Very
like
correct.
for a little while, it's kind of fun to
Yes,
put butter on
yes.
everything, but then you're just like, okay, I'm over it.
Hey, I've had so much cheese. I've had so much cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, I did keto for a long time, and I learned all the cauliflower pizza
Yes.
and all the things, but I'm just like, no.
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
if it works for you, great, right?
yes, and so that's what I wanted to say. The stress is just as important as anything else.
Yeah.
And a diet, especially a limiting diet, is going to add so much stress
Yeah.
that at the end of the day, is it even worth the restriction? Because our bodies cannot digest in stress. And so that's like a little
The
phrase I
bodies
like to
cannot
know.
digest in stress.
So you could be eating literally perfect, all the nutrients, everything. But if you're stressed out, your body is not going to absorb those nutrients.
Wow.
And
So
so
you're
Interesting.
basically saying your body being in that like fight or flight is not going to understand like this needs to go here, this needs to go
yeah,
here.
it's not able to do it. Like it's just trying to get your stress level down. It's trying to deal with all other systems. It is not taking the time to absorb these nutrients. So getting the stress level really should be a higher priority than trying to eat the perfect diet.
Okay.
And sometimes handing someone a diet in itself can be stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a life to live. You have parties to go to. You have birthday things.
Yeah.
You have
Holidays is like
places that are not necessarily going to be all the foods that are on your list. And then you're adding stress. What am I going to eat when I go there? You're adding stress at the grocery store. What am I supposed to buy now? They told me to eat this or don't eat that. You're adding stress a lot of times to our finances because sometimes it costs more.
Oh,
So,
organic,
like there's
man.
stress coming from all different ways when we add in a diet, especially restriction. So I use gentle nutrition is the term. And it's kind of just finding the sweet spot between what sounds good to me right now and what does my body need. So I like to use the example, I love M&Ms. I love peanut butter M&Ms. But I know if I eat just M&Ms, like I'm going to get a quick energy and then I'm just going to be tired and hungry again. So I'm like, okay, if I put some nuts, like make a trail mix, I get to still have my M&Ms and have that satisfaction, but it's going to keep my blood sugar more stable and it's going to sustain me. So it's finding that sweet spot where I feel like I'm not deprived. I had my M&Ms and I love the peanuts and cashews too. Versus if I went all day long, I just wanted those M&Ms. I just wanted those M&Ms.
or then
And
finally that
then-
night you're like, I'm
Yes.
eating 2 bags of M&Ms.
Yeah, for sure. Because I didn't get that satisfaction. So gentle nutrition is finding that balance, that sweet spot. It can take a little experimental things to do to find it, but finding where that is, taking kind of a step back, and then it's adding the foods, like focusing on adding foods in versus taking foods away.
Okay.
So like what foods can we add in that are going to give us beneficial nutrients or maybe it's just more protein or higher fiber carbs versus don't eat sugar, don't eat dyes, don't eat blah, 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 all the things.
It's easier for me to think of adding than
Yes,
subtracting.
all
Because
of
I
us-
love to eat.
all of us love to
There's not
add.
much that I
Yeah.
don't want to eat.
Yes,
yes.
So are there any ads for PCOS that you would say, here's the
Yeah.
go-to?
So adding in, definitely adding in protein
Okay.
to your meals and your snacks, because when we have with PCOS, I kind of think through it like I would with diabetes. Of we want to
They're
try
linked.
to
They
keep
can
blood
be.
sugar control, like that's on the radar. So having protein with our carbs that keeps our blood sugar from going up and down as fast. It's going to keep it more of a stable, slow rise, and we're going to feel better. We're not going to be as hungry. So protein, pretty much with all meals and all snacks.
Okay.
You know, if it doesn't happen, like that's real life. But trying to get some protein, and then just the nutrients, the fats, the like nuts and avocados, those healthy fats. But here's the thing: like most of us know the foods that are good. Like
Yeah.
we've been told 100
Right,
times, it's the
right.
fruits and vegetables and whole grains. It's just finding a way to work them in where you enjoy it
Yeah.
and where you don't feel deprived. So I spend a lot of time with my clients of making meal plans and figuring out how to work those into your week
Yeah.
in a way that works for your life.
Yeah. Because that can be such the intimidating part too. Is like, okay, I know I need to have protein at each, snack and meal, but yeah, thinking about having meat ready all the time, or what are the
Yeah.
different options of
Yeah.
protein?
So, yeah, definitely a lot of people are not fans of having meat
Meat.
frequently.
Yeah.
So, nuts and dairy, yogurt, milk, even like the Fairlife drinks. That's one of my favorite
Okay.
go-tos because they're higher in protein.
Now that is as a meal replacement or as a snack?
Probably an add-on
Okay.
along with a snack or a meal.
Okay.
Yeah. But just instead of like a regular milk because it has a little more protein. Dairy, nuts, peanut butter. That's a really easy one to throw
Yeah.
along with things. Cheese, that's my
Cheese.
favorite. Any of those type things, putting them alongside something
Something else.
else that you like.
So when it comes to trying to conceive, sorry, this just popped into my mind. There are some crazy things on the internet.
Oh, 100, yeah.
So, like, I read somewhere that was like, oh, man, if you're trying to conceive, you have to eat an entire pineapple. Like, in one sitting, I was like, I just can tell that's a bad idea.
Yes.
So, like, are
yes.
there any things that you've heard that you're like, that is ridiculous as far as the internet goes?
Oh my
You can
gosh.
dispel.
There are just food after food that people are like, if you just eat this, what kills
Or
me is
don't
when
eat
it's the
this.
combo. Like, you have to eat this certain food with this one at this time.
this-
and
yeah.
like our bodies they just don't work that way. So yeah, if it really it's a variety. At the end of the day, you want a variety. You want as many different foods as you can get because you're going to get different nutrients from different things. So it's kind of fun. I love to do this. Even my kids at the end of the week or during the week, counting what different foods you've had. And that can really be a better indicator of your diet than anything is just variety.
Yeah.
And seeing.
Instead of
because-
reaching for the exact same thing, because that
Yeah.
we can definitely do that at my house.
Oh, yeah.
I wanted to ask you sugars. What's your take on? I mean, there's so many different sugars out there. What's your take? What's your go-to? Like if you're buying sugar for your house,
Just regular sugar.
just regular.
And we use honey.
Okay.
We use syrup. I mean, it just kind of depends on what the recipe calls for. But as far as your body's doesn't recognize that, oh, she's eating a special kind of sugar. That's so
Okay.
great.
So
It doesn't
instead of
recognize
like
that.
the white bleat, I don't even know all the different terms, but we've got coconut sugar, maple sugar,
sugar.
cane sugar, brown sugar,
Yeah.
but white
Some
sugar.
people say the monk fruit and
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
stevia, like
Yeah.
any of those.
So some of them are
better.
not going to have like carbohydrates
Okay.
or as much, and they're not going to affect your blood sugar as much.
Okay. Okay.
Are they going to taste as good? Are you going to be satisfied? Like that's an important question to ask, because you may end up eating more than you would have to begin with when we try to start putting in all those special ones. Really, it's your body just recognizes carbs as carbs. Now, having the fiber, having the protein, and those things when you eat them, it's going to help your blood sugar
Okay.
with that better. But at the end of the day, it's another thing that you're going to add to your stress, and it's probably not worth it.
Okay.
I would have probably a lot of pushback on this topic. There's so many opinions on sugar.
Oh, well, I was
Yeah.
curious about it because you see, like we definitely try to go the more natural route on things. I even do all the sourdough stuff, but then,
Yeah.
like there's people who would be like, you're putting so much time and energy for something that isn't that beneficial,
But if you enjoy it,
I do
to
enjoy
have
it.
fresh baked bread in your house smells amazing.
we do enjoy it. I will
That's-
say that.
Oh, my goodness.
At time? Oh, wow.
How did that happen so fast?
The producer just showed we have less than a minute left.
Do we have a how we can connect with you option?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we need to know that.
absolutely. On Instagram, I'm rethink eating, rethink_eating.
Okay.
And then if you go to usenourish.com, you can search Kristen McDaniel, and that's how you find me as far as becoming a client.
Okay.
of mine.
Okay. Well, I need to get those links from you.
Yeah,
and we'll
sure.
put those in the show
Okay,
notes when
yeah.
this airs. Kristen, thanks so much
That was
for
so
coming
much
on.
fun. It went so
It was
fast.
fast.
Yes.
We need to have you back again and talk about some more specific things. You guys, I hope this was fun to listen to and helpful and beneficial and hopefully inspiring too, and also to make you feel like you're definitely not alone whenever we're all trying to figure out what's best for our families and for each other.
Yeah.
We'll see you back next time on Hannah's Heart.